What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If we have not yet met, my name is Johnny Nitafan, and in this video, I'm going to share with you the exact way that I was able to make my first $10,000 per month, and how you can do the same exact thing too. And this is specifically if you're wanting to make money online and life insurance, health insurance, whatever type of insurance. This is the exact way that you can make $10,000 per month, because the reality is, all big businesses are built on this core thing. All the big businesses that you could think of, and all the top people that you watch, the influencers, the people who are making millions and billions of dollars a year, all mastered this one skill. So in this video, I want to share with you guys how you can make your first $10,000 per month, and how all true big businesses are built on. And it's a foundation of sales. You have to get really, really good at the art of persuasion. And so what do I mean by this? You might have a few different beliefs and mindset things that you have right now, in terms of, you might feel weird about selling. You might feel weird about you have to not persuade, but you have to twist their arm. You have to make them buy something and force something down their throat, or shove it that way, or force them to buy, right? But the real shift for me in terms of sales, and I actually got really good at selling when I realized this, was that your goal is to help them make a decision. It's not to force them or persuade them or convince them to buy, right? Because that's you're not going to make as many sales as you think you are if you're thinking you just need to convince somebody of something. And if you do, then you're probably gonna have an icky feeling about yourself, about what you're doing. And so that's why it's super important to have a product that you actually can believe in, that you can really help push people over the finish line, that you can really help them make the decision. Because the reality is, if they wanted to buy, there's no lay down leads out there. There's even the highest intent leads, right? If your marketing is absolutely dialed in, the product's amazing, and they come to you and you can't close, human nature avoids changing and avoids doing that, right? And so I think for you, in your situation where you're at right now, you have to get really good at closing sales. Because if you can learn how to sell and learn how to close deals and really learn how to help the prospect across the finish line and make a decision, you will win. You'll be part of the 8% that actually succeed in the industry, because the marketing could be amazing, but if you don't know how to help them make a decision and actually care for the person, you're not going to close as many deals as you think you can. And if you product push, you're going to get a lot of chargebacks in the back end, right? You're going to have people asking refunds, cancels, et cetera, et cetera. So you have to get really good at persuading, the art of persuasion, helping them help themselves, actually seeing that their transformation. This is why it's super important, especially if you're a sales guy, to be able to look at testimonials consistently and be able to see exactly how you are helping these people. And when I end up helping somebody on a call, I actually ask, how are you feeling now, knowing that you do have this in place, knowing that you do have the peace of mind, right? If you're selling life insurance, how do you feel now? Kind of walk me through your thought process, or how are you feeling? So persuasion, it all comes down to helping people help themselves and helping them make the decision that's ultimately going to best serve them. Because this is a super powerful thing, that if you do this too much and not acting in the client's best interest, this is where it's unethical. If you're using your persuasion for not their benefit, but if you're using it to help them, this is where it's literally a superpower, because then you can help them really help themselves. And that's where the term helping people comes from, because you're actually helping them make a decision. So when this transformed, and my sales career really started growing tremendously, and I started closing a lot more deals, and not by closing meaning that they're less than closing, I just use that as a term, but helping somebody help themselves. When I got to that spot where I imagined them, just putting them on a pedestal and having the light just shine towards them, and that's the goal. That's when things really got a lot easier, because if it's not going to be in their best interest to work with me, or their best interest to get this product, maybe they're in a great position financially and they don't need extra life insurance. When I stopped taking myself out, when I took myself out of the equation, when I didn't have the commission breath, when I just genuinely wanted to help the person and I cared about the person and their family. Because if they don't have any coverage in place and they have no money left over, and their kids have to come out of the gate with $15,000 to just pay for the burial or pay for the house payment if something were to happen, and they're genuinely like screwed and not in a good spot financially. When I figured that out, that was the unlock for me, that knowing like this solution actually solves a real problem. So let's get to the bottom of this. What are you really thinking through? Like you just kind of mentioned, and this is like me on a call, like you just mentioned how much of a burden that would be if they didn't have any coverage, if you didn't have any coverage, if you just left the house to them when they're working a minimum wage job, or maybe they're working making $20 an hour. But what if something did happen to your kids? What would that look like? And really putting them at the forefront of the conversation. You have to have their best interests in mind. But if they're really set up financially and they're cool and they don't really actually need what you're selling, then I'm like, cool, I helped them. I added value to them. I said, hey, don't fill out any more of these forms. No worries. It sounds like you're already protected and taken care of. But typically what happens is I actually go deeper and say, okay, what were you really trying to solve this? And don't think with your pockets, think with theirs. Let them think with theirs. It doesn't matter if it's expensive or not. That's relative. That's based on the person, right? So when you're talking to somebody, $300 might be a ton of money. But then also somebody might be like, oh, it's only $300? Cool. Sign me up. Where do I sign? So take yourself out of the equation and just focus on what's going to be best for them. And I guarantee you'll close more deals because you'll feel better about what you're actually doing, and you're not feeling like you're forcing it down, right? And you don't need them, right? You're cool. It's all good. And this is the really challenging part when you're just starting out, is having that mindset. At first, that was really challenging for me because I was like, dude, I got to pay rent tomorrow. But when I was able to kind of sit back and be like, cool, if you buy, it's not going to change my life. But if you do, I'm happy to help you, and I want to help you. And that's why I'm asking you this question. Like, do you feel like this will give you the peace of mind that you have been looking for? If not, cool. I have tons of other people to call. That's why it's super important to have tons of leads. But sales and persuasion, that is the only skill that you should be focusing on when you're wanting to make your first $10,000 a month, because it's hard, but you're laying the foundation. A lot of people want to chase the shiny objects, right? The AI, the marketing, the leads, jumping lead vendor to lead vendor to lead vendor, whatever it is, which is great, right? Marketing definitely can help. But if you want to lay the foundation that you literally can build any business on, that every business has been built on, if you want to lay the foundation, maybe it might take longer and people are growing way faster than you, but if you can get the foundation locked in, it doesn't matter if lead quality is up or down. It doesn't matter if product is good or whatever. It all matters about sales, because the whole business runs through sales. That's why it's so important to get good at sales, because there are going to be times when Facebook's platform, just like it just did recently, where the Facebook platform goes down, or Facebook, the leads, all of a sudden just the quality goes to trash for a couple of weeks, because that's how the algorithm works. When that stuff happens, if you know how to help anybody in their situation, especially when they filled out a form and they responded to an ad online about looking into insurance and wanting more information, what kind of prompted that? What was the main concern here? Who are you looking to protect? What if something were to happen 3 days from now, right? None of us know the exact time or hour, but let's say something were to happen. What would your family do at that point? What would she have to do, right? Like, kind of walk me through that a little bit. Because if you don't have any coverage and you said you don't have any savings, what would she do? I'm just curious, because I want to help and see if there's actually a need here. If there's not a need, I'm gone. I'm like, hey, you're in a great spot, peace. But if there is a need, then that's when you hunker down and be like, but what if they don't do anything? What would, I guess, your family do at that point? Like, if something did happen, what would she have to do? Right? And expressing that concern, but also understanding that, like, this is to help them. So sales and persuasion is the number one skill that you can really get dialed in. If you can do that, you will have a very, very profitable, sustainable business. Because here's another thing, right? And I want to leave you with this. You can have the best marketing and the best leads and the most high intent person to buy right now. But if you can't help them across the line and make the decision to commit to paying $100 a month, your ROI is going to be trash. But if you can get the sales dialed in, which nobody wants to share this with you, but like if you can get the sales locked in and know how to literally help any person in any situation, your ROI on good leads, bad leads, whatever, will go from a 4x to a 10x to a 20x to a 30x. And that's how like Max is able to do $19K on $800 of ad spend, or like less than $800 in 5 days because of sales. I was able to make $43,000 off $2,200 of ad spend. That wasn't because the leads were amazing. They were good, but that's because I knew how to sell. That's what carried me through, and that's what will allow me to build businesses for the rest of my life, because I know how to sell. So the core foundation of business is understanding how do you sell and help somebody with the product that you have. And that's it. Because say if life insurance goes down, there's something else that'll come up. And if you know how to sell, you will be inflation proof. You will have the skills necessary and resources to be able to help your family in whatever capacity. And ultimately, sales will bring the financial freedom that you've been looking for. So I hope this video helps. I just wanted to give you the honest truth, the real reality of making $10,000 a month, how I did it, how you can do it too. If you master that one skill, even though it might take 6 to 12 months to get really good at it, if you obsess over sales and understanding persuasion, you're going to win in the long run. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Go hyper execute. Watch these videos. Take in all that you can, but just go out and implement. I made 50,000 calls my first 9 months. It wasn't a book that I read. It wasn't videos that I watched. It wasn't a magical course. It was doing the work consistently. The work helped. Buying courses helped, and having mentors definitely helped in my life, 100%. But if I didn't do the work, those wouldn't have helped at all. So hope to see you guys in the next video. Like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.